Salakia. Now I'm going to start with Matthew chapter 24, verse 3. Um, First of all praises to Yahawah by Hashem, YAHAWASHI, by Hashem Rekakadash. Yahawah being the name of the Heavenly Father, YAHAWASHI being the name of His only begotten Son, who they ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Now, Matthew chapter 24, verse 3, it says, And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming, and of the end of the world? And then Yahawashi answered them and gave them all types of signs. Now I'm going to read off a couple, and then I'm going to go into some more signs in the Apocalypse. In verse 5 it says, but I'm going to start at verse 4. It says, And Yahawashi answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. So deception is going to be the main obstacle that the chosen elect will have to overcome. Verse 5, it says, For many shall come in my name, saying, I am the anointed, and shall deceive many. So many would say they're the chosen elect, but they're going to deceive a lot of people. Verse 6 it say, And ye shall hear wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Verse 7, For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines. See, famines is one of the main features. War is going to be the guaranteed sign. When war break out and you hearing about these wars, we seeing that this is the conversation on the news. It's a hot war conversation, or it's a cold war, I would say, going on as we speak across the news. And so that's one of the main situations. Now it says, and there shall be famine. So after the war, you're going to have the famines jumping off. And the war is, or might be, what's causing the famine. See, when the war break out, and when it's imminent that war is finna break out, then you see famine going to arise, because people going to try to hoard up food for themselves, knowing that war is coming. Then it says in pestilence. Now you don't have to break that down to too many people. From every country in the world, you got a fear of this pestilence, this pandemic that's all over the news in every nation. And it says earthquakes in diverse places. Earthquakes has jumped up to 3,000 in one day in the earthquake situation, when it was maybe one or two here or there before this end of the world situation. Now let's go to the Apocrypha, 2nd Ezra chapter 6. I'm gonna start at verse 7. Verse 7. It says, Then answered I and said, What shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first, meaning the end of the world, and the beginning of it that followeth? Okay. Then in verse 9, this 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 9, he say, For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So Esau is the end of the world. Esau's rulership will be ruling in the end of the world. You see, now, 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 20, it says, and when the world that shall begin to vanish away shall be finished, then will I show these tokens. The book shall be opened before the firmament, and they all shall see together. So everyone can see that it's the end of the world. Everyone can see the rumors of wars, the famine, uh, the pestilence, the deception that's going on, and the earthquakes in diverse places. Most people can see these things. And when it says the book shall be opened before the firmament, that's the internet. You got the online, uh, what is it called, the world web. The world is in a web, and it's connecting uh, all of these people in the world through the internet and social media, uh, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. It's connecting all of these people together, and the books is being open. The understanding of the books is being open to everybody. They're hearing what Matthew 24 and 14, it said, the gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. So we seeing that the internet is booming with the truth coming out of the Bible, with the correct understanding, with people that know what the prophecies mean. Not people that saying we don't know what that mean and we don't know what this mean, and mainly Jehovah Wickedness. We don't know what that mean and we don't know what this mean. The light gonna get brighter. But it's individuals that know what the scriptures mean and that have the correct breakdowns, and it's all over the internet where all can see, and Facebook and Instagram. Okay, then let's jump down to verse 22. Because it's going to talk about this famine. It say, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, and full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. So when you got this imminent war going on, when they see that war is finna break out, this is when the stores is going to come up empty. It says in verse 23, and the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid. And then in 24 it says, at that time shall friends fight against another like enemies. So that's when the war is going to break out. When they see this, they're hearing of these rumors of wars so much, and it's looking like all out war is gonna happen. Then you get this food gonna come up short around about the same time, and they're gonna spaz out and fight against their own friends as enemies. Okay, and so when this pop off, this is what YAHAWASHI said in Matthew 24 and 21. It say, for then shall then shall there be great tribulation, which as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, nor ever shall be. Verse 22, and except those days be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. So the elect, they going to realize that Yahawashi is coming, that this is the end of the world, and all out war and tribulation is going to break out, and they going to pretty much be dependent on the Lord to save them, because he gonna have to stop the time just to save them. That's why, let's get that in Peter. Just for the elect to be saved, he gonna have to stop the time. That's why Peter said this. Salakia. Let's see here. Let me find it real quick. Okay, it might be. First Peter. First Peter's. Look at that first chapter. Because he talks about the elect being saved. Bear with me 1 second. Well, let me just quote it because I don't want this video to go too long. He pretty much said that the elect is gonna be scarcely saved. Oh, here it is in First Peter chapter 4 verse 17. It say, "For the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of God, and if it first began at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of God?" 18. "And if the righteous scarcely be saved, where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear?" So the righteous is going to be scarcely saved. That means he's going to have to stop the time just to save the righteous, because the tribulation is going to be so great, they won't survive. And so we can see clearly that YAHAWASHI is coming. Now let me get what he's going to do when he come back. Isaiah 66 verse 15, it say, for behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. Verse 16, for by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. See, when he comes, he's gonna slay a lot of people. Let's get 63 to show you exactly who he coming for. When they say Esau is the end of the world, when you go to Isaiah 63, it shows you when he come, this is what he gonna do. Say, who is this that comes from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? Now Edom is the children of Esau. That's why I say Esau is the end of the world. Edom is the children of Esau, and Basra is the capital city of the Edomite. That will be America, the capital city of those who's ruling the earth. It says, this that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in his greatness and strength, I speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Verse 2, wherefore art thou red in thy apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat? Verse 3, I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me, for I will tread them in my anger, and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my remnant, all my clothes. So his clothes is said to be sprinkled with the blood of these Edomites. See, the rulers that's ruling the world with the Edomites, his blood is going to be sprinkled with these people. That's why I say the slain of the Lord shall be many when he come. See, and this is the sign that we seeing right now: the wars, the pestilence, the food shortages, um, and all of these things, the deceptions with Christianity, the Muslims and the Hindus and Buddhists and all these false ideologies and philosophies. He gonna do away with all these things. But pretty much, I want to bring that up. Um, let's see. 34 had something. The Lord got me thinking like 34. 34 verse 2. It say, for the indignation, it's Isaiah 34 verse 2. For the indignation of the Lord is come upon all nations, not just Edom. Um, and his fury upon all their armies. That's why World War III is going to break out. He have utterly destroyed them. He have delivered them to the slaughter. See, that's why he's causing them to go to war and have war with each other, because he's going to step in and they're going to war against him. But he's going to get them ready for war. That's why it talks about rumors of war, because he's getting them ready for war, and then they're going to have to fight against YAHAWASHI. That's Revelation 19 and 19. But I'm going to leave it there. All praises to Yahweh, by Hashem YAHAWASHI, by Hashem and Kakadash. Double honor to the elders pushing the truth. Peace to the elect, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, descendants of slaves scattered around the globe. Our kingdom is at hand. Shalom.